Hello, and welcome back to Karagor Studios' Remnant Lunar Archon. I said it in the correct order that time. Good job, me. This is session 17, unnamed yet because I named him after the fact. Hello. How you doing? Doing pretty well on this side. Starting a little bit late, we have everyone here this evening. No one answered. Does someone want to give the recap, or shall I? Cool. I will take it. At the end of last session, and I should also go ahead and turn on my music on the Spotify. Let's start with Casual Calm. Good place to start. Oh, I love City Ruins. Audio to the correct volume. Here we go. Last session, if my memory serves me correctly, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. You finished looting the lair of Lysavine. As you finished looting, you realized that it was late. It was around 10 or so at that point from when y'all had gone in. You took the time to go outside and retrieve the two gentlemen that you'd left out there, meeting in the slaves' quarters with the other people that had been brought in by Lysavine. You took the time for everyone to rest. I don't remember if a ton got done on that night. There were some conversations, including a slight interrogation of Gambit by Doug. No, it was not. It was Doug talking to someone else, I believe, about Gambit, and then Gambit and Thicket hanging out, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And then it was Doug and Garant who talked about Gambit and whether or not he's trustworthy. Waking up the next morning, you found that the hero members, specifically Kronk, was kind of leading everyone to what just happened. We lost Abby for a second. I assume she's getting back to her computer. We'll keep going. After talking with Kronk, he had been basically gathering up all of the townspeople, getting them prepared to head back to town, waking up those that had been unconscious or hurt, such as the elf and half-orc that y'all had fought in the hall. As well as gathering the others. Everyone seemed to be in slightly better spirits, being in their own minds. The lady who had been acting as the cook did continue to cook, because it turns out she's good at it, preparing food for everyone with the stuff that they had in the kitchen, including you all. You ended up talking with Kronk for a few minutes and indicating that y'all wanted to go back with the townspeople and kind of escort them back, but that y'all were going to leave a little bit later. You didn't specify an exact time. Y'all took time to go down to the baths in the southwestern corner of the locale. You went through a room that had some of these different plants in it that y'all moved past. You found a communal bath sort of area with a fountain that leads off into 4 separate bathing centers. You found an inscription upon it that read, "In the land of light, for each sword a song." And found an inscription of some letters on the inside of the bath, which Garand immediately saw as notes and began to play a tune. As he played a tune for them, it opened a door in the south wall of the bath, inside of which appears to be a very old armory. Doug and Gambit went off wandering around, and were eventually found by Garand and Cedar after Cedar failed to find them in the slaves' quarters with the people that they had left there. While they were frantically moving around, looking for those they had lost, Thicket became king of the bath, freezing his way into having, I described at the end like a small castle made of ice at this point, using shape water.
You said boat.
Boat, did I say boat? A small boat.
You did.
A boat made of water, or made of ice, while at the same time Maverick was very happily going around in the armory, which contains 5 working order, 5 javelins, 4 demiridium yet again, which are short swords, 10 demiridium arrows, and a demiridium saber. Demiridium, as Maverick would have known, being a smith and rolling decently high, I believe Garand also figured it out. This teal-colored material is effectively anti-magic, and so while it's not necessarily magic itself for the purpose of overcoming resistances, it doesn't ignore the effects of magical bonus to armor, such as Maverick's shield, as well as things like mage armor. It just completely bypasses those defenses. While that was happening, I believe Abby's back, hopefully at her own computer.
Yep.
Welcome back. And that same time, Doug and Gambit were wandering around. They ended up going past this door that had stacks of shelves, boxes, and chairs pushed against it, and they smelled, but it smelled like burning and rotting eggs from the other side. Wandering down the hallways throughout the locale, they walked past I believe, just a single door before entering into what turned out to be a large gallery. It having been destroyed over time, most of the paintings completely worthless and ripped apart. There were 3 paintings that remained: a painting of a knight fighting a giant bird-like grim, a woman that appeared to be spinning yarn into gold. Props if you know this story. And a picture of a woman holding a bowl of fruit that y'all had never seen before, which is effectively like these small, kind of like apple orange sized, what look like, have a similar shape to like watermelon, but have these like pink polka dots on them and are about orange sized that y'all saw. Y'all have not seen those fruit before. None of you would have any experience with them. Upon inspecting them and then touching them, Doug incidentally awoke what appeared to be some form of spirits within the 3 of them, right as Garand and Cedar caught up to them. Throughout a fairly quick battle where Gambit and Doug had a somewhat difficult time fighting these spectral creatures, they did end up, through use of Cedar's Turn Undead and Garand's fairly powerful Eldritch Blasts, did defeat the spirits, at which point the paintings returned to where they were. The figures had moved and come out of the paintings, and then the figures glimmered and returned back into the paintings as they were destroyed. Doug immediately tried to touch it again and resummon them, but nothing happened, at which point he angrily threw one to the floor. And I believe that is where we ended the last session. So now, the floor is yours.
Doug is going to gather all 3 paintings and use the rope that he has to bind them together, as he wants to carry them back with him.
Are you binding them within the frames, or are you taking the paintings out of the frames?
Frames included.
Alright, so you're just binding the whole thing together. And the other 3, Gambit, Garand, and Cedar, are in the room, while Maverick and Thicket will get to y'all in a minute if y'all want to do anything over in the bath and the armory.
Where's the map?
If you want to find the map, the easiest way to get to it is to, on the combat tracker, the cross swords under the tool section, double-click on your character's token, and it will automatically bring up the map you are on. Like the picture of Doug on the map, if you double-click it, it should, at least theoretically, bring you to where you need to be. I think it has to be your character, not someone else's, which makes sense. Tried to do it on the other side, and it did not function. Reminds me, on the other side, I need to go ahead and change the gameplay.
Should I be seeing any sort of map at all?
You should be able to. Have you tried double-clicking on the token on the combat tracker for you?
Yes, and it didn't work for me.
Didn't open anything. Well, in that case, I will just go ahead, and since you're all kind of there anyway, I'll just go ahead and reshare the map for you then. Right, I can't do it on that side. I have to do it on the GM side. I can't do it on the player side. That would help, Micah. Share record. Ooh, and in and out.
Not sure what happened. It looks like it crashed temporarily. But something
Welcome
crashed.
back. I went ahead and reshared the map, so you should be able to find yourself on it now. You'll have actually seen a pretty decent amount, the communes so far, and there are some places y'all haven't seen. Oh, you'll also found what appears to be Laciphine's private bath, which does have magical stones within it that seem to be heating up and cleaning the water constantly.
Yeah, as Doug happily gets the 3 paintings, ropes them together, hoists them over his shoulder, he starts walking north and then to that immediate next hallway.
All right, you can go ahead and move yourself on the map. Cedar, Garon, and Gambit, what are you doing? Cedar, Garon, Gambit?
I am just trying to piece together what exactly is going on. If they're leaving the room, I guess I'll stay with them. Otherwise, I'm just trying to figure out. Like, they ran off and they got into a ghost fight, and what in the heck?
Doug, stop for a second. I'm just gonna move you back. Give them a second to move as you decide which room you're going to. That's fair. You can stop there. You were just going all the way through, and it's like, wait, hold on a second. What was that, Garand? Sorry.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because we come in the room, they're being attacked by ghost paintings or something, and we kind of all work together, get them taken care of, and now I'm just kind of figuring out okay, what's going on? They're running off. So if it looks like Doug starts running off, then
he quickly binds up the paintings and walks away. So y'all two are following him. I assume Gambit is Cedar following them as well.
Yes.
So I guess while Doug is doing everything, and he kind of hears Garon ask, kind of look puzzled, he just starts telling Garon, yeah, I found these paintings, and stuff happened, stuff moved, stuff came out, so I feel like they're worth taking with. So I was just going to explore the rest to see what else is around.
that sounds odd. Okay, Garon's just yeah, okay, well, I mean, let someone know where you're going next time. We had to run around looking for you. There's still a lot here. I mean, they were worried about where to go, so.
I mean, I had Gambit. We kind of split into pairs, but I guess you guys left before I could say where I was going.
I mean, we said we were going to the baths. I wanted to make sure that that thicket was not, interrupted, while he took his time. I mean, he's worked hard like the rest of us, and if that's what he needed, I wanted him to have his time, his opportunity, his privacy, what have you. And then once it seemed that he was satisfied and done, there was more to find, and I went and I got Maverick, and I showed him the room, and then you're all missing, and well, that's not dangerous at all, of course, and I mean, Gambit, is new, so yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Doug just kind of nudges Garon and whispers, I was testing him.
It's going to be one of those light bulb moments because 8 wisdom is 8 wisdom. It's just, oh, yeah, no, that's brilliant. It's a great idea. Well done, Doug. And he's going to, like, hit him on the back. Like, you know, like, hey, friend, good job. And he's like,
Doug just kind of whistles away.
All right. And Gambit, I assume you're opening the door you went up to at the end of the hallway this side?
Yes. Yeah.
Right,
I'm gonna
and-
try to go to the baths now.
As you open this door, you find it is not the baths. You open the
no.
door to find a room choked with rust. 2 wooden tables sit, one covered in jars, and one with some kind of tools on the wall in front of you. To the left, you see 2 stone tables, also covered with dust, with 2 small buckets that sit next to them.
Oh, sweet. I go up and I inspect the tools.
Make just a straight intelligence check to see if you can figure out what kind of tools these are and what this room might have been used for.
Intelligence. Boop boop. Straight intelligence.
I'll go unlock your tokens again. Y'all are fine. I don't know. They're tools.
Nice
There are
tools.
some hammers.
I love tools.
There are some cutting implements.
Mm.
These little, like, weird curved knives.
Mm-hmm. Is there a small hammer that is flat on one side and spiky on the other?
Nope.
No.
Definitely not.
Oh.
These are actually fairly small ball peen style hammers.
Catherine knows what that is, but
Gambit.
maybe Gambit. Nah. Are there like saws?
There would be a couple of small saws.
Mm.
Yeah, there's if you saw Gambit go into this room that y'all can see from the distance these, what's the word? Jars and stuff.
I want to look into the bucket. What's in the bucket?
The bucket contains nothing. Just dry and empty.
Okay.
Can Doug just pick up everything, like all the tools, so that way he can take them to Maverick later?
Sure, I will go ahead and throw the tools into the party sheet. Are you trying to pick up jars as well? Because those are, as far as you can tell, pretty empty jars. They do have what appear to be very old and dried spices and oils in them. Like this, you can tell barely the scent of some stuff that was once there, but it's very, very faint, as if it's been a very long time.
I don't think Doug would notice, so I feel like he'd be oblivious to some things that might be seen as arbitrary or not needed.
So what would he do with them? Is he trying to take the jars, or?
I think Doug is just on a looting high, since he just looted like the treasure room. So I think he's at this point taking what he can.
All right. Go ahead and leave the unknown tools, as it should be for y'all seeing them, in the party sheet. And then I will also go ahead and drop jar. Empty. They weigh, we'll say, a pound apiece. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jars here. Not 65. 6 jars.
Are there any nails?
There are no nails.
No nails. Sad.
These aren't those kind of tools.
Ugh. All right.
There are some
Gambit.
very old, some kind of wire and like needle
Oh.
stuff almost, but there's no nails.
Gibbet's gonna sign disappointment. He doesn't know how to use any of these tools. So he's gonna walk out of the room.
All right, now the rest of you following him. Out of the room, at least, after Doug grabs his things. Where would y'all like to go? And over in the baths, what are Maverick and Thicket doing?
Has it been 15 minutes since they left?
I will say yes. It is now 9:15.
Okay, well, Thicket is going to officially get out of the bath and take a look at the room that was mysteriously opened with music.
Oops, stepping in there, you would see pretty effectively a few different stone tables. Some chests that y'all found were full of rotting and effectively ruined clothing and bits of leather armor. There are 2 statues, at the base of which read, "Practice that ye shall not fall." An archery target, some arrows, the remains of some bows that are no longer usable, some javelins, etc. The other things I mentioned. Oh, and some training dummies that are also completely rotten through.
Right. Thicket is just going to pass time and follow Maverick with whatever he decides to do.
Cool. What you doing, Maverick? I'll go ahead and... Did I already throw the... Looks like I have not thrown things from the armory onto your sheet. I will go ahead and do so. Actually, since y'all know what they are, I'll go ahead and identify the Dimeridium items.
Yeah, I'm assuming the arrows are the Dimeridium arrows.
The arrows +1 or the... No, they're Dimeridium arrows. Because y'all did also, to mention that, y'all did find some of the 4 items on pedestals were in fact magical. And over the evening, Garand did identify them. He found a total of 5 +1 arrows that were inside of what y'all found out to be an efficient quiver that I believe is going to go to Doug whenever we run the assignments, should theoretically go through correctly. That can hold quite a few different arrows, javelins, etc. Effectively, it's like a bag of holding for ammunition and weapons.
Okay.
You also found 3 elemental gems, 2 of which are blue sapphires, which correspond to summoning air elementals, and 1 of which is a yellow diamond, which corresponds to earth elementals. You also found a circuit of blasting that Thicket has had his eyes set upon, as well as what you very quickly used, a figurine of wondrous power of a silver raven, which Garand used to send a message off back to the town to Uldrathel.
So what things are in the armory, did you say?
So the 4 types of things that are of value are the 5 steel javelins, 4 Dimeridium short swords that are a specific kind of short sword known as Yadigan. Yadigan are these fairly long short swords that have a slightly forward curving blade. There are 10 Dimeridium arrows and a Dimeridium saber.
Okay, is the saber considered... What kind of sword is that?
Because we're using the revised weapon thing, it's actually a saber. But I'd say if you're proficient with like a rapier, you can use a saber.
Okay.
It is a 1d8 slashing weapon that has the cavalry, finesse, and parry properties. Cavalry means that whenever you are riding upon a creature, and you, let's see, no, it's just on the move. Whenever you move at least 20 feet straight toward a target, no, you have to be well mounted. If you move 20 feet toward a target while mounted, you deal an extra 1d6 of damage. And then, finesse and parry. Parry, you can use reaction to add your proficiency bonus. I think half your proficiency bonus to your AC. And finesse is where you can use your dex. whereas the short swords, or the Yataghan, have finesse parry variable, where they can do either piercing or slashing damage and have a certain type of effect if they roll a nat 20 or very high in each given type.
Okay. I
You also found a lot of money, but
I want the money. Give me all of the money.
you'll have not dealt with the money yet.
I'm probably gonna take the arrows and
Okay.
one of the Yadigans.
Okay, I'm leaving. So the +1 arrows are with Doug. So you're only taking one Yataghan.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and just make the number of that 3 on here, and go ahead and throw one onto your sheet.
And question, since it's specifically the metal that ignores the magical stuff, could I theoretically take the metal and reforge it into something?
Totally. Yataghan weapons ignore magical. Okay, it's on your sheet now. They ignore magical increases. However, you, because of your knowledge, would also know that having Yataghan armor, exactly, so I don't get this wrong, but I believe if you have Yataghan armor or a shield, material properties, Dimeridium, not Yataghan, Dimeridium. If you have armor or shield made of Dimeridium, you have advantage on saving throws against spells, but you cannot cast spells yourself.
So that one works super well for me.
Yes.
Dimeridium
Dimeridium can also not be enchanted. It does not function.
Would that be would that still allow you to be healed via spells though?
Yes, since it just specifies saving throws against spells, I would say it would still be.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and take all the Dimeridium stuff.
Alright, in
If I
that
can
case, I
carry
will
it.
go ahead and just check.
I will help
that.
carry stuff if need be.
For now, I'm just gonna type onto them that it will go to Maverick whenever I distribute the items in a few minutes, and if you have anything that you want to use sooner rather than later, I can add it. I'll go ahead and add those. Are you taking the javelins?
Sure. How many are there?
There are 5. They are standard steel javelins.
How heavy are those?
Good question. How heavy are those?
Weight is 2, so that's 10 weight. What's my carry capacity?
240 is your carry capacity. You currently have 110 pounds.
Okay, yeah, I'll take them.
Okay, and I haven't distributed them yet, though I guess I think since y'all are taking it, I can... Effectively, do y'all want me to go ahead and distribute the money is the question. That's the kind of thing I was waiting on before I threw things out to the party.
We were gonna see if anybody else came up to ask about the money, just because some people had already come up to ask about the rings.
All right. In that case, I will leave it unsent out for now until y'all decide on what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, it's more about maybe we can, if anybody comes back and maybe they have a financial burden that they maybe wouldn't have had if they weren't kidnapped, then maybe we want to help them out. Just there's some different things that we're gonna try to work out, I think. But don't, if anybody's disagree with that, please.
Valid. All right. In the meantime, while them to do that, I don't know where the heck Gambit went. Oh, there he is. What are y'all doing over here?
I am sitting in a chair. I found a chair.
Wow.
Gambit was going. It looks like he was trying to sit in the chair. I don't know if y'all are following him, but sitting in the chair that is in front of the room that smells of rotten eggs and burning. But where would y'all like to go on this side of the map?
I think, well, Doug's just gonna say, so I haven't been further south because I got stopped by the portraits, so I was going to go down this corridor and see where it led. Also, what's his name from one of the people that we rescued said that these were off limits, so I thought, well, let's see how off limits they are.
You would say that. Cedar didn't say that, by the way. That was just Abby.
That was Abby. Is that
I
where
was
you all
about
are
to-
going then? Cedar, Garand haven't really popped in on the movement conversation.
Yeah, I'm just following everybody. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the suggestion about the like boarded up or like what would that be called? The barricaded door, passageway, whatever. But I'm fine going this way first.
All right, Gambit, are you following them, or are you trying to sneak off all like a rogue would do?
No, following.
Follow the Albert
All right,
Grove.
you come down to where there is a southern path, or two southern pathways, and you can move your own tokens. There are two southern pathways. Doug quickly walks up to one and finds that there is another door, also old. All of the doors and things in this place are very old.
Do they all smell weird?
I haven't noted y'all smelling them, so you wouldn't know.
No, I
Just-
mean, like, didn't one door smell like rotten eggs or something?
Yes, the barricaded door has the smell of rotten eggs and burning come from the other side of it, but y'all couldn't see what's inside that door. What with it being barricaded.
Do any of the other doors smell weird?
They have not smelled like rotten eggs or anything yet, no.
Cool.
Opening this door, you see this 30-foot square room is littered in debris, pieces of wall, broken containers, and scattered furniture across the room. An old desk with the remnants of alchemist tools sit in the northeast corner next to an unopened chest. Cobwebs drape the corners of the room and the shattered bookshelf.
Mimic.
Doug is going to motion to Garan, who's outside, of, hey, weren't you looking for some books or knowledge on a specific topic? Like, there's a shelf over here.
Can we open the chest?
Yeah, I'm looking at the chest. Is
Okay.
it? I kick it. Gambit
Okay.
kicks it. Is it a mimic?
So as you touch the chest, your hand does in fact stick to the chest. I just love that you called it immediately upon entering the room.
Is his hand stuck or his foot since he kicked it?
Did you say kick or pick the chest?
I kick.
Kick the chest. Then let me make sure that is the. Oh no, I don't want that many versions of this. Don't need. No, I'm just gonna delete all of these and replace them.
What's a mimic?
You're about to find out.
They're the best. They're the best. I love mimics with all my
They
heart.
pretend to be things.
So
Yeah.
You are surprised.
It's like malicious Ditto in Pokemon.
That's actually a good
Oh.
way to put it. And I'm gonna
Malicious
go-
Ditto, I love it. I
I-
love it.
I don't like the malicious.
All of you to assume that Ditto is not malicious.
That's fair.
True.
Go
Would,
ahead and roll initiative. Four of you that are in that room.
Favorite fact
Okay.
about Ditto is it's regular and it's shiny. Match Mew for being regular and shiny because it is supposed to be a failed Mew.
Yeah.
Mm.
And well, it failed Mew too, technically. While they were trying to clone Mew, they had a bunch of failed attempts.
Also,
Which is why in
I-
Pokemon
is-
Red and Blue you can find Ditto in the tower or in the abandoned plant where they were presumably trying to create Mewtwo.
I just sent a picture of a mimic into art or our own creations.
True, I did not find a picture for these particular mimics. I'll have to keep this in mind. That for some reason my chat's freaking out, and I think y'all's might be too.
Mm-hmm.
So would Gambit be constrained or
So with this, as this happens, yes, Gambit is going to be grappled. I'll go ahead and throw that on.
Wait. I have something for this.
Yeah, I was about to say, doesn't Gambit have advantage against being grappled?
It does have advantage on checks and saves. Unfortunately, if you touch it, it automatically grapples to you. So trying to get away, you'll have advantage.
It's fine.
But at least to start, you get stuck to it. So as Gambit steps into here and kicks the chest just lightly, his foot sticks to it as the wood in the chest shifts, almost like this weird, like putty substance that grips around his foot and holds it in place. As the chest opens, and inside you see a large, like fleshy inside with this large tongue and massive sets of teeth upon it. So we'll go ahead and start initiative with Cedar up at the top. Cedar is the first one to recognize, and so will not be surprised.
No.
Garand is also not to be surprised as he realizes this and is within the hour for your brine, so have fun with that. And then the mimic is gonna go. So it does it. I'm not gonna bother adding surprise to you because it already has advantage on attacking you. As it is going to try and bite you.
Good boy. Down.
With your fairly low HP to begin with. It rolled a 19. So you might go unconscious.
Fine.
It rolled really low, so you have not gone. You have 2 hit points left, or 3 hit points left. Enjoy that. As this large creature, this chest, like shifts around and bites onto Gambit's leg, the last of his aura being expended to keep it from biting into him properly. I'm going to turn on the combat playlist. As you see
We got a biter.
As you see this, the stool behind you, Cedar, the top side of it opens and also produces teeth. And it is going to jump on its 3 legs and is going to make a pseudopod attack against you.
Well, joke's on them. I don't even know what pseudopod means.
It's like a flesh glove as one of its legs reaches out and strikes into you. You are going to take some bludgeoning damage. And you are also automatically grappled by it as its leg sticks onto you and is holding you in place. As this leg that appears to look wooden stretches like putty and wraps around your leg and holds you. That is their turn. Gambit, you are surprised. Doug is surprised. And that marks the 4 that are in the room. Now back to Cedar. What would you like to do as these, what you thought were inanimate objects are now not so?
I'm thinking off the top of my head, which is never a good idea.
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
I'm just gonna use my mace, I think.
All right, go ahead and make the mace attack as you draw out your mace. I don't believe you are holding a torch, but I'll say you can drop it if you'd like.
Okay, of course I get 1.
Oof, you roll a 1 and automatically misses. You try to strike into it. You're not expecting it, and as you strike down, you actually hit into this table, scattering some of this old alchemist materials and old dust that is at this point completely useless that flies up into the air around you. That is your
Awesome.
action. Your movement is currently 0. Do you have a bonus action you can or would like to use? Like a spiritual weapon.
Not at the moment.
Nudge, nudge.
All right, not at the moment.
Oh,
You don't have to. I'm just saying that's effectively the only bonus action you have equipped at the moment. There are other spells that you could take that are bonus actions, but that's the only one that would actually apply. If you want to use them. I'm not saying you need to or should.
I'm not gonna do it right now.
All right, Garand, you see these things begin to move, these inanimate objects.
All right, so there's 2 mimics, and then there's some floaty items.
There are 2 mimics, and there is just like dust that was knocked into the air.
Oh, I thought you said something was like floating objects or something. I thought, okay.
Nah, just dust from...
Okay. All right, well, okay, I'm going to trust that Cedar is capable, so I'm going to try to rescue the new kid, and hopefully he will not make me regret this later. Minor action, activate brine on that particular oozy slime pseudopod.
Identified creature 15, which y'all already know what they are. I'm just going to identify them. They're mimics.
Wait,
Everyone knows
what?
Who'd have guessed?
No way.
I really, really, really want to domesticate a mimic. Catherine wants to just domesticate that.
Domesticate?
Yeah, a mimic. I think that would be so cool to have a pet mimic. But
Smart move. We
I don't
get
think
disadvantage on strength checks. Yeah, these ones don't seem to be very domesticatable.
Nope. These are not.
You're using a hero point. Alright, go ahead and make the attack. You're not within melee range. That still hits, fortunately. Even though you rolled a 4, your plus 10 total does still strike into the mimic. Go ahead and roll damage. It does appear to, as it strikes into it, the force from this lightning does damage it, but it doesn't seem to be terribly affected by the acid. It is lightly affected, but given you rolled a 1, it's not very effective.
Doug, make sure that you help Cedar get free. I'll look after our new friend.
Speaking of which, the Mimic is going to try to attack Gambit again. Still with advantage. And is going to miss. It rolled for a long time. It was like 20, 18, 16, 4. It's a good job. As the Mimic continues to try to bite you, you try to pull your leg out of the way and actually manage to plug your pick just between its mouth a little bit, keeping it open and trying to force it away from you. It fails to damage you. The other Mimic is going to make an attack with advantage against Cedar, because Cedar is now grappled by it. It is at the top of the stool is going to open up and is going to miss as it tries to bite into you, but can't seem to get past the armor on your leg as you rely on that over your aura. Gambit, you are currently being held on to by a biting chest.
Okay.
I was wondering. I was gonna kind of point to it if y'all had asked, is there anything that's clean? Is everything in the room dirty? And I was like, yeah, everything except for the chest and the stool. And the stool actually seemed kind of clean.
Okay, I love mimics with all my heart. But I want to get out of this, so I am going to try to get out, and I have advantage on.
Which also has disadvantage because it has a special effect that they have advantage on, or that you have a disadvantage to escape because they're adhesive. So you will make a regular roll,
there-
and it will make a disadvantage roll on account
Okay,
of.
so what?
It will be a acrobatics or a athletics check, and it is going to make an athletics check against you.
Okay.
Okay, it set the DC. And you beat the DC as you take a moment, and with your experience, I think escaping bonds before, you manage to twist and actually manage to pull against the adhesive. Think of how this seems to be some kind of organic creature, and manage to pull away from it in a way that releases you, and you step back from it, no longer grappled.
Okay. Mhm. All right. I got 2 HP.
Of 3 whole HPs.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't want to touch it again.
That's a good decision.
I'm gonna say eat this instead and take a handful of dirt and throw it into its mouth.
Okay, what are you effectively trying to do with it?
I am trying to make it less adhesive. You know how you get like one of those sticky hands and then you drop it in the dirt and then it's less sticky?
Interesting. Go ahead and make... let's just make a straight dexterity check to see how well you throw the rubble and stuff nearby into it.
Dex?
I'll say this is part of your action to escape the grapple, because technically that'd be an action, but I'll allow it. I think it's an action. Yeah, it's an action. Just make a straight dex check.
Did it not do it?
Not on my side.
Oh, okay. All right. It still didn't work?
I don't see anything. Are you dragging it over or double tapping it?
I am dragging it over.
Make sure it lands in the box, in the chat box. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
11. I need to go run something here. You know, I was gonna give you a 5% chance or a 20% chance that it worked. You rolled a 5 on the D100, so you're good job. As you throw the dust on it, it does seem to cough up a bit, and it seems to be somewhat reducing the adhesive on it. We'll say until the end of your next turn, it is unable to grapple by its adhesion.
And can I just take a step back?
You can, but if you don't take a disengage, then you will be attacked.
Bonus. Do I have a bonus action?
You do.
Okay, bonus action disengage and
Just
take
going
a
back
step
5 feet.
All right, that's it.
All right. Doug. There are 2 moving things.
Okay, because I was gonna ask earlier if I had space to run up to it, but Gambit had moved back. So I think what Doug is going to do, he's going to manifest an echo in the corner, top left corner.
Up here?
Up here? Correct.
Okay.
So him being excited that there's another fight, he quickly drops his rope of paintings and then grabs his sword as he runs, and the echo runs towards the mimic that was holding Gambit.
One moment, for some reason it's not opening correctly. Weird. Let's see, picture. Where are you, Doug? There you are. Okay, so for some reason the hot bar is not functioning. I'll go ahead and just drop it there. All right, and what did you say you were going to do with it?
So it's going to be 10 feet from the mimic, just like I am. And then we're both going to simultaneously run towards it and attack.
All right, go ahead and make the attack. Which one of you is attacking out of curiosity? So for some reason, okay, so I think the chat doesn't like Doug for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't.
Is it the push to talk?
Maybe.
But
But it did it with your initiative and stuff too, so probably not. But it's fine. We'll just keep going with it how it is. It's nothing that's going to matter too much. That does hit.
But yeah, Doug was going to like both charge and then last second switch with his echo and then attack.
So is he attacking or is the echo attacking?
The echo.
All right, the echo strikes toward with the light blade. Go ahead and roll damage. All right, as he strikes into it, bringing down this blade that does still deal slashing damage, but seems to be made of this soul energy that he uses to produce these echoes, these ulterior versions of him. As it slices in through part of the chest, it actually cuts in through where its fake lock was, knocking that bit off as the lock transforms from its altered state over to a, well, not lock, but like the latch from the altered state over to this weird oozing liquid on the ground. As it does deal the full 7 damage to it.
I don't think he's going to do any bonus action.
All right. Back to the top of the turn order. Cedar, it is your turn again. You're being held by a chair.
Is there a way for me to use my torch to burn this thing?
You could totally attack with your torch.
Cool. How do I do it?
It would, just let you know, it does only deal 1 fire damage. And it would be a normal attack, like the same as you would with your quarterstaff or your mace. It'd be the same type of attack.
Well, that's stupid.
Torches don't deal a lot, but they do burn, but, you know.
It was great story-wise.
It is great story-wise.
Could she use the torch to like burn the mouth to ungrapple?
Yeah, that's like what I wanted.
I would say you could do that, but it would count as a, like, athletics check to escape the grapple.
Okay.
So go ahead and make an athletics check, or we'll say, be nice, or an attack, whichever one is a higher bonus. And you will have disadvantage because of the way it's adhesive. I was looking at the wrong one, so... Both of those would have counted anyway, even though it was actually disadvantaged for some reason. So as you do manage to push against it, as you push the fire into it, it does react and pulls back for a moment, allowing you to pull your leg apart from it.
Yay! Wait, just one leg?
It was only holding on to one of your legs with one of its.
Oh.
So it was basically just forcing you from moving and making it easier for it to attack you. And you still have a bonus action and movement if you'd like to take them.
Yeah, I'm gonna move away.
All right. It will get an attack of opportunity if you do. Are you okay with that?
A what?
An attack of opportunity. So whenever you move out of a creature's range, it can use its reaction to try to attack you, unless you take the disengage action, which lets you escape safely.
How do I do the disengage?
That would be an action to do, unless you're a rogue.
Well, then no. I will just stay there, I guess.
All right. Is that your turn?
That's it.
All right, Garand.
Okay, so the one that Doug is still up, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Making another Eldritch Blast, super hits. And does slightly more acid damage, a total of 1 acid damage. No, 2 acid damage. Nice. No, it does no acid damage, I'm sorry. As you see, the acid completely unaffects it. It is completely unaffected by the acid. As the force slams into it, it does take a few damage.
Alright, yep, that's all. Cedar, try to keep yourself safe. Since it's still alive, though, I do have a bonus action. I'm going to, heal up Gambit.
Alright. I assume Healing Light, or are you using Healing Word? I think you have both currently. Alright, using both of your Healing Lights. Well, enjoy 4 hit points, which, to be fair, is most of your current health. As the specters had reduced Gambit's health for who knows how long, but reduced his maximum health. You are slightly warmed by the presence of Garand. Now it is the Mimic's turn again. It is going to make a pseudopod attack against... Oh, how intelligent are you? Make an intelligence check. See if you know that the one in front of you is probably not going to work out. It's not smart enough. It's going to pseudopod the one in front of it. Which does hit, and as it strikes into it, that form of Doug dissipates. Move him over here, because I assume you're going to call him back in a minute. And it is already there. The chest is going to hop right here, where it has more range around it. And then is the other Mimic's turn. Yeah. And is going to make another pseudopod attack against Cedar.
Stop it.
And it misses you again.
That's what I
As
said.
it tries to strike into you, you deftly swing the torch down and push back the pseudopod again. Gambit, you feel the warmth of this breeze, and the smell of the ocean from Garand. And do you feel better?
Wait,
Physically.
can I make a reaction against that mimic moving?
No, because it did not leave your range.
Okay. Is this... Did the mimic move?
Yes.
Okay.
The chest
it's
hopped.
in front of me now. Oh. Will I take the attack of opportunity if I just move over?
To where?
To right in front of it, but I'm
No.
still closer to
within.
Cedar.
You
Yeah.
can stay within its range, so you can move there.
Okay. All right. Ooh. I don't know what to do because I don't want to stick to it again.
What a tough decision to make.
It is a sticky boy.
They are sticky. You do only have one dagger.
I do only have one dagger. Okay, I'm going to... I don't like Cedar being there. But it's not like
Well,
I
that's
have
rude.
much.
I was about to say.
Well, I feel fear that Cedar is sandwiched in between these two mimics, and it's making me nervous.
It's also making me nervous.
Oh, I also need to remove the grappled effect from Cedar. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Don't worry, Cedar.
Okay.
Someday your magic resistance will come into effect.
You would think.
All right. If I'm gonna go down, so if this mimic is going to grapple me, no matter if I touch it, if I touch it in such a way where I am also grappling it, can I effectively? Yeah, I want to try to grapple the mimic in front of me intentionally. So the first time I got stuck to it was unintentional. So can I do my cunning, what was it, the escapologist, but like in reverse. So I'm trying to grapple it and hold it down so that Garand and Doug can take care of it.
So you're like trying to hold it down, grapple onto it so it can't hop around?
Mm-hmm.
Expend a hero point and I'll say yes, you can.
Yes, I will gladly do so.
Right,
How
so
do
now
I
you can
do
go-
that?
The inspiration on your main page. Well, actually, I think you can access inspiration from any page. You just mark one of the inspiration off. And then go ahead and make the acrobatics check, since you wanted to do it like you would with escapologist. Also with advantage.
Acrobatics with advantage. Oh boy.
And you will automatically be grappled by this.
Yes, I understand. Okay, I'm gonna do one.
Should have had advantage.
Yeah, can I just do another one,
Yeah, you can just roll again.
Okay. Oh.
Now, thankfully, you have advantage, and even though it did roll pretty well, dropping a 20, good job, Garand, you do successfully grab down onto it and begin to like try and hold the top of the chest down as it sticks to you. You're actually using the stickiness to like help hold your arms in place as you try to hold around it. The both of you are grappled.
Yes. All right. Hurry up! Take it down! I yell, and that's the end of my turn.
Doug.
So Doug is not going to waste any time and is just going to go straight for the attack.
All right, make the attack. I'll let you know if you're high enough to deal the extra necrotic.
And this is with advantage?
No, just a regular one. Grapple keeps it from moving, but does not give you advantage, unfortunately. All right, that hits and would cause your slicing effect. You did roll high enough.
Is it critical if it's grappled or no?
No, the regular hit, but you do get the extra slicing effect. Alright, you deal a total of 13 damage as you step up and stab your sword down into it, cutting into it, dealing the extra necrotic damage from the slice. And as you do this, you do find... You can't pull your sword back out. It is sticking to your blade. You can effectively continue to attack it with the sword by like dragging it through it, which will still take attacks to see if you can like pull strong enough to cut through it. But you cannot attack another creature until your sword is released. Or, use your echo. Stab down into it, and it appears that these things, while they may or may not have souls, you can't tell, they certainly do not have any aura that you can see or activate. So if they do have a soul and aura, it is not projected in a way that would reduce damage. You are just attacking the creature.
So you said I could continue like attacking with the same weapon, like just inward or like getting it out?
Like when you like if you were to, this is gonna sound weird, if you were to like stab butter with a knife, you could like shake it back and forth or like push the butter knife back and forth to like cut into it more. Kind of like that.
Okay. I think I'm good. I say that, but I'm gonna manifest an echo on that 8 ball or 8 table, whatever that is.
That's just a symbol, so I know what number the room is because it helps to have things numbered.
Outlook looks cloudy.
Cedar,
Okay.
you are
I'm gonna
sandwiched
try-
between two gooey furniture monsters.
Yeah. I'm gonna try inflict wounds on mimic number 3.
All right, go ahead and make the spell attack associated with it. That hits. Go ahead and roll the 3d10 necrotic. And mark off the spell slot as well. First successful inflict wounds you've done. So you didn't deal the it doesn't look like you rolled the damage onto it, but I can drag it on, so you don't lose the almost max well, not almost max damage, but really high damage. Go ahead and make sure you mark off the spell slot on your sheet.
Okay.
As you reach forward with your shield hand that has the symbol of Sylvanas upon it, this warhammer has these vines grasping around the handle and this wreath reaching around the top of it. You place your hand down with the shield, and as the shield glows, as you channel the divine energy through it, you place your hand upon the creature, and as you place your hand atop its head, there is this darkened divine light, this almost grayish black energy that pulses through it, and you see the area around where you touch it around the top instantly like decays and turns into this ashy substance as the creature reacts with a your hand is not grappled as you ash away the part where you touch it, but you do deal a considerable amount of damage.
That's what you get for touching me.
Dang right. Is there anything else you want to do? First time rolling inflict wounds, and you roll... Dang. Nice.
I'm gonna move away.
Okay. Where would you like to try to move to? So you
Away.
try to move through Spectral Doug, effectively taking up 15 feet of your movement. And as you get to, we'll say, here, as you move past him, they are both going to try and use their reaction to make attacks against you. There's no reason why they wouldn't. First one misses. Fortunately, you have a high AC, so we'll see if these do anything. And both of which miss as you step past and they glance off the back of the greaves that you wear. Even though I'm describing you as wearing more armor than your art, that doesn't matter because you have big armor. That, I believe, is everything on your turn. Garand.
All right, Gambit's still standing. No one else is terribly wounded.
No one else is terribly wounded. Gambit is holding a chest down. Screaming for y'all to kill it. That hits. As you just point just to the edge of him and blast toward the opposite side of the chest. The acid once again doesn't do much as the bit of force damage glances off of it, tearing off a bit more of the gooey substance that seems to be making up as the bits of what appeared to be metal break off and turn to the same goo on the floor. Not a lot of damage, but it was a damage.
This thing is disgusting. It's just completely ignoring the salt water.
It's true. It is. And
The salt water, though.
It is going to make a bite attack against the person holding it down.
How dare you?
With advantage, because you're grappled by it. So So that hits.
But wait, I'm technically also grappling it.
Mm-hmm.
So shouldn't it just be a... Oh.
Grapple doesn't give a disadvantage on attacks.
Ugh.
As it opens and tries to bite into your arm. As it bites into you, you effectively release it, releasing the grapple as you become incapacitated.
Oh, great.
As it bites and breaks through your aura and actually does bite into your arm. And as you're being shaken by it, you do begin to fall unconscious. As it is biting into you.
This is the way I want to go.
Being eaten by a chest mimic.
Yes. This is the life.
It'd be the second character we lost pretty soon after they were introduced, so...
Oh, no.
Pseudopod against yellow sun.
Don't
dog.
die. Thicket just wanted a bath.
Thicket just wanted a bath. If only Thicket and Maverick knew that y'all were over here fighting for your lives. Well, for Gambit's life, everyone else is doing just fine so far.
Listen, this is Gambit's first time adventuring. He's a little green.
Very green. Actually, he's in the red now. Everyone else is in the green. The pseudopod attack against Echo Doug misses as he steps out of the way, and the Mimic 3 does not know that it's a fake yet. Gambit, make a death saving throw.
A death saving throw! Yay! How do I do that?
So, good question. You haven't done this yet. So, on your main page, at the bottom there is a thing that says death saves. Just click the die next to it, or I think you can drag the die onto the side, and it should auto-update a save or failure. That's one success.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, Doug. The body of Gambit, unconscious, is flopping atop this thing as it moves around and seems to be going to continue to bite him.
So Doug, noticing that his sword is stuck and doesn't want to touch the mimic itself, can he like kick off with his feet to be above his sword and like pivot at the same time, hoping to like, twist the blade a whole like 180 degrees inside?
So you're trying to like flip over it, twist the blade around, and land here. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily, but sure.
All right, go ahead and make...
I was just saying maybe on that blank space, like by the table.
So you're trying to get like right here?
Yeah.
Just trying to twist around. Okay,
Right.
in that case, I would just say go ahead and make an attack. As you shift over and try and twist the blade around and cut into it, go ahead and make the attack.
I'm going to use a hero point, because why not?
Yeah, man, you got him. Speaking of which, if anyone didn't, you can add a hero point to yourself, except for Cedar, Garand, and Gambit, all of whom had 3 at the start of the game. Okay, you go ahead and throw the extra 2 into the modifier window, or press the press 2, press the plus 2 next to the ADV button. I talk better when I talk like a robot. That hits, and is enough to gain the slashing effect. Or the slicing. Another 13 points of damage as you do successfully turn, drag, and cut through, shearing apart part of the edge of it as it effectively is turned to be biting this way. You cut down through the side of it, splitting apart the fake wood and metal actually as it comes apart and kind of displays the goo fleshly inside of it. All right, anything else for you?
And I guess just for confusion, the shadow or the echo is just going to move in between.
All right. Stepping in the way. Cedar again.
Okay, I would like to use Spare the Dying on Gambit.
All right. Don't know if there is... I think there's an
Yay.
effect for stable. Do. You use your action as you place your hand. Same one with the shield, as the shield glows lightly onto Gambit, and the bleeding on his arm stops. He's still unconscious, but he is not dying.
Not dying.
Yeah, not dying gang is a good gang to be a part of. Is there anything you'd like to do with your bonus action, movement, etc.?
No?
All right, Garand.
Yes.
The mimic is looking pretty torn through.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot. Let me.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Your damage is kind of capped right now. Well, there are some things you have that can deal a little bit more, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I think it's time to bust out my big gun. Ka-kra! A lightning bolt will strike down upon it. I hope.
Are you using lightning lore? Oh, using guiding bolts. All right, that definitely hits as you, as this lightning courses between your hands. It shifts into, as it becomes this lightning, it shifts into this blue light as it gathers in the center that still has this almost miniature storm inside of it that releases into the creature as it blasts through, tearing past the creature. It completely cuts through as the creature's form like melts and shifts completely into the Goose-Dudden's substance and seems to lose quite a bit of its adhesive property, though it still has some, but you're not attached to it or anything. Like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but you can like pull your hand away and it has a little bit of the substance on your hand, but isn't like connected to the rest of it as well. You can pull your hands away and everything fairly easy now, as you do effectively kill Mimic 15.
And with my bonus action, since I know what Cedar cast, I'm actually going to transfer Brian over to the other one.
All right.
Who's Brian?
Who is Brian? And Brian, I assume also strength. Because even if Brian doesn't do anything damage-wise, the fact that it makes it harder for them to maintain grapples is good. It's actually super good. I believe that is your turn, unless you want to move around. Gambit is laying in a pile of goo. Stepping past Gambit's unconscious body, you step over there. Alright, Mimic 3 is going to make an intelligence check, which it's probably going to fail because it's stupid. It has the stupid. I have this stupid. It failed. It does, in fact, have the stupid, and it is going to make another pseudopod attack against the fake person in front of it instead of an actual person. It does strike into the fake person in front of it, causing the form to dissipate. It is then going to move. I'm going to roll a d4 to see who it goes towards.
Not me.
It steps right here as it hops over. As its turn. Gambit, you do not have to make death saves. You're unconscious, laying in a pile of goo. Doug, this chair is waddling over to you now.
Since Doug is the next person to likely attack it, I put
Unfortunately, that is not the one that you cast Guiding Bolt upon.
So yeah, Doug is going to, I guess, make an echo directly behind it.
All right.
And then he is going to attack.
The Echo is going to attack, or he is going to attack?
The Echo.
All right, make the attack. I want to know if your sword gets stuck. That's a natural 20. Go ahead and add slicing because it would auto-proc. Is there anything else that you get from critical hits? I can't remember.
It's twice the damage, right?
It does do the extra damage, which will automatically apply. Yes,
Oh wait, I get a
Chris, it would grant advantage, but it only grants advantage against the one it hit. And since it didn't hit this one, it would not grant advantage against this one. So, yes, I don't see anything else that would apply to your crit. So I think you just... Oh, you do get a hero point. But you can go ahead and roll damage. It should auto-proc. You're good, Chris. It's always good to know what your spells do, and it's always okay to ask questions and get things wrong. Multiple 6s. You do deal a total of 24 damage as stepping over this one that hasn't really been touched. It's had a little bit of fire dealt to it, but as you step over, your echo swings down and slices through and actually cuts off one of the chair's legs. It can still stand up as it isn't actually a chair, but one of the legs comes off and then flops into a pile of goo on the floor.
I would like to remind you that I inflicted wounds on that chair.
You did. I'm sorry, I forgot. You did, in fact, inflict wounds. Just has a lot of hit points. So it looked pretty high still. But you do successfully cut through it, the ashy substance on its head flaking away. Head in quotation marks. Cedar again.
Let's see what I can do.
Lots of things. You're a cleric.
I know.
You also have some potions in case those become relevant. Well, a potion in case that becomes relevant, but eh. Haven't needed it so far.
I'm gonna use my quarterstaff and bonk it on the head.
All right, you will have to step closer to it.
Oh.
But do you drop the torch on the floor then?
Sure.
You drop the torch to the floor, still emitting light, and you can pick it up afterward, but it's now effectively in that spot, which isn't going to affect this battle, trust me. You pull out your quarterstaff and make the attack as you try to bonk it with the big stick.
Big stick.
And natural 20. Go ahead. Let me see if the normal quarterstaffs get anything extra, because I know I have the more simple versions of the weapons for you since you're newer. Let me see if there's anything special that should come with it that you might enjoy. No, nothing special would come through it. All right, you can go ahead and roll the damage then.
How do I do that?
You just drag the 1d6 plus 2 bludgeoning onto it.
Oh, I see.
Just like you would with a spell or something. Alright, you deal 7 damage to it as you come by and you swing down with it. It strikes into the head, into the same ashy part as you focus and deal the extra damage to it as it screams out in pain. But unfortunately, the adhesion does stick the staff to it, so you could potentially try and keep attacking it with the staff, but the staff is now unable to be used on anything until this guy's dead.
What if she swung the staff and then just like
Hit it into
the
something?
mimic
Yeah.
into the ground?
Yes, that's how you can still attack with the staff while it's attached to it. By basically swinging it. Garand.
All right. I'm gonna trust that we can probably take it now that it's just the last one. So I don't want to burn my spells in case there's anything else that we need to attack. So I'll switch back to I'll just blast, but I still have Brian, so at least should get some damage. I don't know.
You would have seen that at this point, Brian doesn't do any damage to them, but you still have the effect against the strength and still do regular damage. That does hit, but it appears they are immune to acid damage.
Ah, okay. I was hoping maybe they were just like resistant of like 5 or something. Oh no, wait, resistance. This is half. So
Yes.
all right.
So there is a version thing where things can reduce damage, but base resistance is half. But it is immune, unfortunately. As you do strike into it, it does take a little bit more damage, but still not a huge amount, or at least not as much as you'd like. Any movement?
Brian.
No, that's fine. I think we got this.
All right, pseudopod against
Poor Brian.
real Doug. Poor Brian. Hey, at least Brian is better off than Bob. It rolls a nat 1 and automatically misses Doug as Doug steps over and just like leans up against the table, and it swings past him and strikes into the ground. Pulling its leg back, it is gonna stay there. Gambit's unconscious. Doug.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess stab.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna guess stab.
Yeah, so Doug is going to actually, like, can he push Cedar's staff further into it so his weapon's not stuck?
I'm gonna say no. That would probably not function.
Well, I guess since Cedar's getting it from the top, Doug's gonna try to, like,
Your echo can attack it, and your echo doesn't get stuck on account of not being a physical thing.
But I mean, it's still the sword, right?
Yeah, it still did the same damage. But the sword of the echo would not get stuck in it, because the echo, including its weapon, is entirely made out of this... Like, it's a copy of you, but it's made out of this magical energy. So even though the weapon retains the properties of the one you use, it would not be stuck.
Oh, well, then let's just do that then.
Well, some other DM might disagree, but I'm going to say that's how your echo works. So that does hit. The 11 damage as you cut into it one more time. It is beginning to... You see the bits of the goo coming apart and its form begin to reduce and squish together. It does seem to be on its last legs, literally. Cedar.
I'm gonna try Sacred Flame.
All right. Make the save. See, in order to make y'all actually fight enemies, I sometimes have to throw enemies that don't have consciousness at you. It succeeds, unfortunately, and as you try and release the energy toward it, it like squishes down against the ground, and the sacred fire does not damage it, unfortunately.
Daggum.
Yeah, it rolled a 15. All right, anything else you're gonna do?
I guess not.
Garand again? Or Gambit just sitting there in a pile of goo unconscious? That's a 1. As you try to avoid hitting Cedar and the Echo to not disintegrate it and distract it, or distract the Mimic from it, it fails. You go ahead and step past the others, but the Eldritch Blast flies high and misses past the Mimic, unable to do any damage to it.
Sorry about that. I suppose I need a better angle.
The Mimic going to continue to attack Doug. It is going to hit. Doug, you're going to take some damage and become grappled. You take 8 points of damage as it strikes into you. This gooey pseudopod of one of its 2 remaining legs strikes into you and actually reaches up and begins to hold around your leg in place. Gambit is unconscious. Doug!
Okay, so grapple means disadvantage?
No, it just means you can't move around, and it has advantage on attacks against you because of the kind of creature it is. Normally, grapples don't give you advantage on attacks unless you have a certain effect that gives you that advantage, like Mimic have.
Okay, well, Doug is just going to hopefully finish it off with his Echo attacking.
Alright, go ahead and make the attack.
And might as well use a hero point just in case.
That still hits. As you cut down into it, the Echo, bringing down the sword, it slices through the top of it, cutting through the ash. As the ash falls away, the blade hits the ground, and the goo reduces as the wooden form of it shifts back into this purplish goo that falls into the same pile the other one has fallen into. You now stand at the room with a pile of mimic goo.
Delicious.
Gambit is partially laying in the pile of mimic goo.
Doug is just gonna splash some goo on Gambit's face to see if he moves.
He does not. And
Doug,
Gambit,
stop! No.
I need you to roll a 1d4, Gambit.
What? Oh, 1d4? How does one roll? Oh, wait, I got
It's
it.
the triangle die. You drag it over. You will wake up in 2 hours if no one messes with you.
Okay,
Or heals
cool.
you early.
Doug, hold on. No, that's not necessary. Cedar, are you willing to heal the gentleman, or shall I?
I mean, I'm perfectly willing to.
All right. Well,
Gore
Let's-
wounds.
And
we might want to see that he's at least all right.
yay.
And make sure to mark out the spell slot as Gambit is fully healed on account of only having 9 hit points available right now. As Gambit, you wake up in the pile of this sticky goo, your torch laying by your side.
That's
the
not.
The memory of being bitten by a box you threw yourself upon.
I'm not very good at this adventuring stuff, am I?
You'll get the hang of it.
I mean, I believe you might have learned a good lesson. Don't necessarily go around kicking everything, and maybe if it's a slimy monster that wants to hug you, don't hug it first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see in hindsight that probably wasn't the best idea, but, you know, I didn't know what else to do.
you tried, and that's good. And, you know, and sometimes you try and it's very successful. So, you know, it's not about, you know, don't lose that bravado, don't lose that confidence, but maybe temper it with a little bit of patience.
Oh, will do. I'm gonna go take a bath. Not that this isn't fun or anything, but I've almost died twice today. So I'm gonna call it quits.
If you want, I can show you a very. She was hoarding her own special bath. The former lady of the house, I guess.
Lady of the house.
All right, that sounds perfect.
Right then. Doug, are you still adventuring and exploring? Because if so, can you wait?
Doug just kind of looks at Garon with like a puzzled face of, what's the point in waiting? Aren't we trying to, like, get back?
Yes, but if I can get, you know, Thicket and Maverick, you know, if we're all together again, it can be of benefit. You know, we can do things more efficiently, more effectively, and yeah.
Okay. Do we want to at least see what's in this room before we head back out?
No. I don't
Might
want
as
to
well
go
try.
home.
Might as well try, yes.
All right, make an investigation check. See if there's anything of value in the room.
Both of us?
Whichever one of you. All right, as each of you look around, Garon having a bit more of an idea of what might be valuable. There are smashed pots, bits of wall. Any books that remained on the shelf have been rotten and torn through. The alchemist's supplies are useless. As you take the time to look through, you find there is nothing left of value in this room.
Except for me.
Except for Cedar.
Right. Yep, she's the only one that's of any use to us, so we...
Alright, so if I have the understanding correctly, y'all are going back to the baths to collect Cedar, let Gambit bathe, and then head to another room. Is that correct?
I don't know where I'm going.
I'll collect
Question.
Thicket and Maverick, but yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Doug noticing like the goo was the very sticky part that kept things getting stuck. Would he be able to take some of that goo and put it in a empty water skin and then hopefully use it later?
Do you have an empty water skin?
I thought I did. Yes, I have
Correct.
one.
There's the jars that we got from the previous room. We could use
True.
a jar.
You could put them in the empty jars.
Yeah, I guess I'll just grab. Or we were already in that room, so. Well, I
You
guess
still
I'll.
have the jars with you. You put them in your pack.
Yeah. I'll use one of those then.
Alright. I would say you could fill, if you wanted, 2 jars of mimic goo. See, I don't know what you'll what use you'll get out of it, but you can have 2 jars of mimic goo.
I have an idea, and Doug's very resourceful with his fighting skills. He might not be socially aware, but he's at least combative aware.
And who knows what Maverick can do with it.
So 2 jars, you said?
2 jars of mimic goo, each of which weigh 3 pounds.
Great.
I've left them in the party sheet for the moment. Oh, I figured out what happened. So it is because of your push to talk. I think you may have clicked on your name at one point when you pressed push to talk. And so there is your push to talk space.
It is.
Yeah. It's effectively been keeping your push to talk as, or your name rather, as your name and then an absurd amount of spaces. So I'm just going to go ahead and start deleting those. This might take a second. What is the fastest way to do this? I mean, y'all can go ahead and move yourselves back or rather, if you'd like, I don't know how much y'all are going to, or y'all can pick a room, and we're going to go ahead and take a break, and then be at whatever room y'all are going to next.
Could use a little break.
Yeah, because it's about that time of the evening.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do y'all know which room you'd like to go to next? Because it did sound like y'all were going to go look around in another room afterward. Effectively, there are 2 rooms that you know of left, being the barricaded room and whatever the room was in the hallway that you all passed.
The smelly room. Oh wait, that's a different one from the barricade room.
Yeah, there are 2. There's one barricaded and one not barricaded.
I'm going to the baths.
All right, I'll just go ahead and move you all to the baths, and y'all can decide afterward where y'all will go after.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Back before 9:15. Or by 9:15, I guess. I need to hold backspace on Doug's name for a little bit.
That's the one thing I don't like about the push to talk is nothing is a good option.
That's fair. There's no button that you can just reserve as this is only the push to talk button. Every button on your computer does something. Huh. Y'all did it. You fought mimics. That's one of the many well-known D&D monsters that you'll have to fight in order to be considered true D&Ders.
I
Like
still have
that.
yet to fight one.
That's true. You've technically yet to fight one. 'Cause you weren't in the room. Sorry, fam.
And I've been playing D&D for what, 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 or 6. I remember when we started the last campaign. It was when I was at Impact. What's the second?
Maybe Maverick can
Yeah, like 2018, like 5 years.
maybe Maverick can artificiate a mimic from the goo.
And then kill it.
Yeah,
Or just make a
you're
goo
right.
familiar.
Yeah, I was about to
I
say
should-
make Gambit's dreams come true.
Yeah, make Justin's dreams come true and have a Gambit familiar or a goo familiar. I'd say if you're ever gonna make a mimic familiar, gotta have
True.
you gotta have part of a mimic at least.
Yeah.
And I'd also like, since you're already here, Ton, go ahead and make an intelligence tinker's tools check to see if you could figure out, or I guess it might be more of a smith's tools check. But make a intelligence check based on whichever one of those you have proficiency in order to see if over the long rest, if the plans you're drawing up for your thing, if you kind of figure out what you'll need.
You said
Either an intelligence smith's tools or an intelligence tinker's tools. I think you have proficiency in both, so
I think I do
Basic.
also, but I'm trying to make sure. I have
basically,
proficiency with Smith's tools at least.
yeah.
Smith's tools and Tinker's tools, yeah. So just an intelligence check.
Yeah, it's an intelligence check with proficiency. So if you want to like
Would I
temporarily
just-
give yourself proficiency in like investigation or something, and then
think I could-
unproficiency, or if you already have
could-
proficiency.
I could roll Arcana.
Yeah, that works.
Oh.
It's just not coming to you right now. You've worked on the plans and everything, but you're not totally sure what all you'll need to make it function.
Can I
We'll have to-
retroactively add a hero point?
No. You always have to add hero points beforehand. That's one of the few rules I require with hero points.
Okay.
I don't have many. There are a few. I figured out Doug's name for a little bit was just Doug, and then pause for 5 minutes.
I mean, that could be relevant to how Doug introduces himself anyway.
That's true. I'm also going to delete and remake the mimic goo. things, so I don't have to retype your name. There you go. You're Doug now, and just to make sure, I'm just gonna roll a thing from your sheet. Cool, you're just Doug, not Doug.
I was wondering why there was so much space between his name and everything else on the chat thing to the side.
I finally figured out how to make custom text tones and ringtones. So my new tones are a ringtone that is one of the Chrono Trigger songs, but I don't remember which one because I didn't actually design it myself. My text tone is the Heracross cry from Pokemon.
Ooh, fun.
Because he was one of my favorite Pokemon, because he's neat. In my opinion, he's the coolest bug type.
Fair.
Are you hungry or sleepy, Abby? Or is that a dog that I heard? Jaltic is a fun one. Not my favorite, but he is a fun boy.
What is?
Chris was saying in the chat that one of his favorites are the Jaltic Galvantula line, which I do appreciate. Not my personal favorite, but he's a good one. I was playing Pokemon Fusions because I wanted to, and some of the fusions look awful. There are some neat ones in the Pokemon Infinite Fusions game that they did, and they designed a whole bunch of like customized fusions, which look really cool. Even when you like fuse a Pokemon with itself, they sometimes have neat stuff that happens. But I think one of my favorite fusions has got to be Beedrill and Golbat are actually really good. They're surprisingly powerful. They kick butt real fast. But they It looks really cool. It's like a purple bee drill with fangs. It's neat.
Huh.
And like the 4 wings behind it, replacing its bug wings, it has the 4 wings from. I don't remember if it's Golbat or Crobat that I have it at right now. But Abby, making sure you're not falling asleep.
I am.
Don't worry, we only have it's about time now. We only have about 45 more minutes ish.
Okay.
All right, is everyone back? Is anyone not back?
Yeah.
I'm back.
So Chris is back. I don't know if Chris is back. Jocelyn's back. Thicket's back. Abby's back. Ethan is here. Chris and Jack, are y'all around?
Yep.
Chris? Nachos. That's a good decision. Nachos are nice. I don't know if I'll eat anything after stream tonight. I am going hunting in the morning, so I'll probably need the energy, but we'll see. Yes, but as you all return to the bath, Gambit is able to take a few minutes to wash off the goo from himself. Is there anything else you would like to do over the 10 minutes or so that would take? As you all rejoin.
Were you asking Thicket and Maverick within the 10-minute span?
Sure. Thicket, Maverick, and y'all, basically everyone. Like, is there anything y'all are doing? Gambit takes a minute to wash himself off. I assume he's still going with the rest of you. He didn't say otherwise. At least not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, he's taking a bath. He's stinky.
But he would take a bath. I don't know if y'all are leaving him behind or if you're waiting for him or what. Y'all ask about what happened in the meantime, if y'all discuss anything, and that's up to y'all. I'm giving y'all the opportunity to decide what would you like to do.
Would my blade have any goo on it?
A little bit.
I go to wherever Gambit is washing off, just kind of like stare at him, not say anything, and just like flick the goo in the water, like by him.
I would like to note, you're in a room with 4 separate bath areas, and you walk over to Gambit specifically and flick the goo into his water.
Correct.
Okay.
That's so mean.
It's so petty.
And I'll just be like, you okay?
Oh. Well, I'm trying to get clean, and you're making my water dirty. But I know what this is. This is just hazing. You're hazing me, right? Because I'm like a new party person. So yeah. I am completely honored that you have thrown goop into my bath water. I will drink it now. He starts starting bubbles.
Doug,
No, don't drink that. No.
Doug's not
Or
that.
take him.
Doug's not that malicious. He just thought that since you were dirty and his sword was dirty, he would just use the water that you're already dirtying up rather
But
than.
does he say that?
He does not, but that's what his thought was.
Now we all as players know, but all of y'all still in there get to see Doug lean his sword in the water and Gambit assume it's hazing.
So when Gambit says that, Doug just kind of looks at Gambit confused of not sure what hazing is, but I am doing what you said I did, so sure.
Nice.
Oh, and for the y'all that weren't in here, the rest of y'all's characters would see there is an ice boat over here. complete with sail. Just chilling in the water.
He's not in the bath anymore.
He's not in it, but the boat's still there.
Let me check how long the ice lasts.
I thought it lasted an hour. Now
Let
I'm
me check.
curious.
This is important information to know.
Yes, this is important to know now.
Do they get to see the ice? It lasts an hour, yeah.
Yep, alright, so there is still a floating boat complete with sail, made of ice, just chilling on this side of the water.
Is the water a little chilly because of the?
It is on the complete opposite side. So if you go there on the map, Thicket was playing around in the northern side, and you went to the southern side, and the fountain spreads out in both directions. So you are not being touched by the water that touches the ice. It appears that these are designed with drains on each side, that the water just seems to continually come at a reasonable temperature from the fountain. Not warm, it's not cold. Alright, anything else y'all do over the next few minutes? And as Gambit completes his bath, y'all said you were heading over towards the... did y'all want to go to the not barricaded room or the barricaded room?
Is the barricaded room referencing the chair that smells?
It's a chair and a chest and a box and a dresser all pushed up against a door. So yes. Yes, that's where the chair is, but it's more than just a chair that's there. Sounds like y'all are heading there. All right, y'all can drag yourselves there, or I can drag you there individually. It'll just be a little slower. Because I don't remember how to drag multiple people at a time.
Where?
You are going... Should be able to see... like if you scroll out on the map, you should be able to follow along the line. Because you should be able to see what each other have gone to, but as like grayed out.
Over
unless
here?
I'm wrong. Yeah, over there.
Cool.
Are you going
Making
with him, Gambit?
I'm trying.
I believe in you. Doing great.
It makes you go through doorways.
Yeah, you do have to go through the doorways, and if you try to run into a wall, you will stop at the wall. Because I designed it to where the doorways are there. There's basically walls for lighting and stuff, and where I can open and close the doors as I please. Move Gambit the last 15 feet. Oh no, Chris died. Chris, are you alive? Chris! Chris! Well,
He alive, but he dead.
an honor.
What's
Okay, Gambit is now hanging back, and he's gonna let the professionals.
Yeah,
he's
the
gonna watch the
professionals that have, like, a
professionals do
week
the work.
I guess they technically have like 2.5 weeks more experience than him. What day did y'all start? Y'all started on the 13th of February, I believe. Yep, so it's been 1, 2, 3 weeks. I have 3 weeks more experience than you do.
He doesn't know that.
Oh, I think Chris is back. Back, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it crashed.
Yeah, it happens. So as you approach, you have the awful smell of like rotting eggs and this like burning smell coming from this direction behind this chair and these boxes and things that have been pushed up against this door.
Do we want to start moving things?
Yeah, so Maverick and Thicket are with us. Yeah.
All right. You begin to take the time moving a box and chair, and as you move the different objects, pulling them aside, probably a bit of Doug, Cedar, and Maverick as the strongest members of the party, pulling things back. You eventually are able to kind of see inside as this doorway, partially partially burned away by this greenish liquid that you see. I will open the room to you. As you push the way open to this room, you see inside. As if y'all want to, who's leading the way? Who's going in first?
I can. I'm tanky.
Okay, who else is going in?
I will go.
Thicket wants to lead. Put yourselves in the order you're entering the room, please.
Last.
Okay, Cedar. Abby,
Yep.
Wake up!
wake up.
Okay.
Is
You're just
Cedar
being
entering
brave.
the room first with Maverick? Like, what order is she in the room? You going into this room?
Oh.
Want to go first?
No.
You want to stay where you are?
Cool.
Yeah.
You all move in like this, and I'll go ahead and just move you in, say this far, so y'all can kind of see. And I'm gonna lock tokens for a second, just so I can take time to describe the room before I release you. As you push open the way to this room, you see inside two sarcophagi, one on each side of the room. The sarcophagi, like much else in the room, seems to have been burned away by acid. You can easily make out the remains of a trigger mechanism on the one on the right, the cover of it having been partially destroyed. Pooled across a large portion of the left side of the room is a pool of acid that seems to have reached some material it can't burn. Pieces of torn apart walls lay scattered across the floor, littering the area with sharp debris. You see a hole in the eastern wall burned open by acid, and a chamber beyond it. There are pools of acid throughout the room as well that you can see with dark vision, that gray area, and with light, the green. And as Thicket and Cedar move in, as you watch the room for a moment, you notice two black ridges coming out of the acid. As you look at them for a moment, the ridges dip below the greenish-yellow liquid.
Doug, immediately remembering what happened to Gambit, takes out a dagger and throws it at the sarcophagus.
Which one?
The left one.
The left one? All right, and at the time you wouldn't really need to make a check as you throw the dagger at it. The dagger bounces off the hard stone.
Well, the
Do
dagger.
you have daggers? You do
Yeah,
have one dagger. Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
Would Thicket be able to tell what the black thing was?
No, it was just two
Can he,
small black ridges. They maybe came out 2 inches at the most.
Okay. This place is a little bit scary. I'm a little bit afraid to touch anything.
I am also scared to touch anything.
So
I'm gonna move this way towards the door up here.
I'm gonna stop you just before you reach the acid, just in case. So are you stepping around the acid that's right there?
Yeah, I'm avoiding the acid. I didn't notice that was there.
Yeah, it's the gray material, and from this point on, if you move yourself over it,
Yeah, okay.
you have been warned. As you all step in, The others of you following in? Are y'all stepping through?
Doug's gonna retrieve his dagger from here.
All right. What are the rest of you doing as he does that?
If you guys would like, we can just stay still for a bit while I cast Detect Magic. It'll take about 10 minutes.
Cedar and Gambit, are you entering the room?
I'm
I'm willing to cover.
peeking my head over.
What was that, Garand?
I'm willing to cover you. You know, you focus on trying to see what you can see, and if anything tries to attack, you know, we can try to attack first.
And Abby,
Yeah.
are you entering the room?
I guess so.
You could just stay right there if you want. You could just wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
All right, stay there.
Thicket is going to pop squat and start ritually casting Detect Magic.
All right. Did you mention the Black Ridges to anyone?
Was I the only one who saw it?
You and Cedar. But neither
Oh,
of you said
well,
anything.
yeah. Yeah, there was definitely something over there in the corner that moved. So I'm just gonna not go over there. And hope that it doesn't try and get me while I cast this.
Doug, do you do anything as you go toward that area?
It was in the which corner?
This corner. Saw it dip below the acid right about here.
I cast Purify Water. I'm joking.
Purify water wouldn't work. It's not water. It is chemically not the same thing. Is Doug going to do anything as specific as he goes to grab his dagger?
He's going to ready his shattered memory just from hearing Thicket.
All right. Then you will not be surprised. As the water shifts, or not water, I'm sorry, as the acid shifts and a form pushes upward. As somewhat similar to the insectoid creatures you'd fought before. This large worm centipede-like creature that, unlike the others where those are fairly thin and small, this one, as it comes up, you see the green from the bits of light you have glow as its stomach area is pulsing with this green light, and as it reaches the top, it goes from just these individual smaller pincers into this almost humanoid-like top, but where the arms of this humanoid are, they stretch out into these long arms, at the end of which are these bone-like blades. As you all see, this creature...
Gross.
That's pretty
Gross
gross.
indeed.
Glad I saved my actions.
Yeah, you're not going to be surprised. Though, and actually, all of y'all are not going to be surprised because y'all were warned. There's something there.
Danger water. Well,
Danger
not water.
Danger acid. As this creature rises up, and we're all going to roll initiative as it is attacking.
You know, acid is just spicy water.
It's true, it is spicy water that will kill you. Whereas tequila is spicy water that probably won't kill you.
Exactly.
It'll probably still kill.
It depends on how much of it you drink. And again, I guess the same occurs for acid.
I mean, the same occurs for water.
Anything
That's
can,
true.
anything can kill you if you drink too much of it, including water.
Okay, Cedar, go ahead and
That's
roll
what-
initiative.
Drowning is.
It's true.
You guys
You
ever
drink
heard
too
of
much.
water poisoning? It's a thing.
Do I get another hero point for another 20?
Yes, you do. All right, and at the top of the turn order, appropriately, is Doug, as you see this creature, still fairly deep in the acid, stretches outward.
Is acid surrounding it completely? Like, can Doug not get to it?
Yes. All of this, like, grayish green liquid, all that stuff is acid.
Oh, wait. Doug can get around that because his thing hovers, right?
It's true, his echo can hover.
So he's going to manifest an echo right up at the creature and then attack.
All right, go ahead and make the attack.
Going to use a hero point because why not?
All right. And I assume farm right here. All right. That does hit. Go ahead and deal damage to it. Which, if everything goes right, it should partially resist. All right. Taking less damage than you'd hope, taking a total of 2 damage as you cut into it with the blade. And as it cuts into it, there is a burst of acid from its stomach where you cut into it, and the acid sprays onto the echo, dissipating it as the acid burns through the echo.
Does Doug know that piercing doesn't work so well?
You would have experience that all Grim are resistant to non-magic damage. So it's more likely the non-magic than it is the piercing. That's the problem.
Okay.
Though I guess actually technically your damage was low enough because you have to have a certain amount of damage that the acid would not spray out, as you only barely scratch the back of this creature.
Oh, so it's still there?
Yes, the echo is still there. I was wrong.
Would Doug sense that this is a shorter ranged or long ranged? Like whether it uses long range attacks or short range based off its looks?
Based off its looks, go ahead and make an intelligence check. Yeah, looking at it, being able to quickly look across it, it doesn't look like it's terribly fast. It looks like it's about the same normal type of speed as a normal person would be able to move based on the size of its body, but it does move relatively quickly for its size. The arms and size that it have are effectively as long as, you might say, like an arm with a great sword. So it is probably a 5-foot reach is what it has. That's what you'd assume.
Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my action surge to attack again.
All right, go ahead and roll the attack. That hits, roll damage. Hopefully you roll a bit more this time. It does still partially resist it, down to 6 instead of 13, and this does do enough damage, and as the acid sprays out toward it, it does destroy the echo. As you quickly slice into it twice.
Okay, so then I'm going to move back a bit.
Alright, so you step back, carefully stepping around the acid.
And that's it.
Alright, as you step there, it is now its turn. It looks over. Oh, goody. It's about to target all of you.
Everyone except me.
Everyone except you. They all bundled up. Here's a save. Go ahead and make the save. Some of you, it looks like your saves do go automatically. Both of you succeeded. Good job. The others need to save as well.
And we can
Another
use a
success. You can use a hero point. That's why I have it where it slows down, is so that you, like where I have it where it comes up, so that if you want, you can do a hero point. You should have a thing off to the, like on it that lets you type in a bonus. So you should be able to roll the hero point and add it. So you should be able to type in the 3 and then roll it.
Where do you type it in?
Modifier at the bottom left.
As it rises up in the acid, the stomach glows and has this like bulge and pushes forward as it spits this massive ball of acid out from its stomach that splashes there and splashes toward all of you.
Except me.
Garant.
I don't know what I did, but it's not letting me just roll a dex save.
I also note it did not, for some reason. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll roll it against you all again, because it also should have stayed targeting the others, because it's supposed to do half. You succeed, but anyone who fails will get to roll again until they succeed. There we go. Now it's going correctly. Ron unfortunately fails. Doug succeeds. So everyone... Let's see. Doug, I believe, failed the first roll, didn't he?
Yep, by like 1.
Okay, then go ahead and... I guess drag the save onto just you.
Oh, I did it the second time and got a 13.
Yes, but the first one is the one that should have worked. So
Okay.
I need to roll it till it fail. Sorry, fam.
Would I do the +2 again or no?
Nah, because since the first one fails, we just need to roll it until you fail. There we go, that works. Here's some damage. As those of you that succeeded take... It's going to take a second to load. Who all is
Oh,
unconscious?
Gambit!
As it rolls really
I knew
high,
it.
and rolls a total of
I knew
31
it.
damage. Doug is unconscious. Garand is unconscious.
Yeesh.
Cedar and Thicket are both heavy. And Gambit is also unconscious. As it shoots this acid, those of you that are still up do see that these 3 fall to the ground as they are struck by this acid, burning away their aura quite quickly. And then this creature is going to dive back beneath the acid. Hiding from view.
Shouldn't we have gone up to level 4 after those mimics?
Nope.
Let me see.
Even if I'd
It
given
sure
you
would
your
be great if I had area of effect healing.
Can I cast Mending on them?
Nope.
I cast Mending to stabilize everyone.
If only. What would you like to do, Thicket?
Oh. A good question. I was trying to cast Detect Magic, and I look up, and everyone around me is unconscious.
Yep. You look up as this thing rises up, shoots a ball of acid. To be fair, it wasn't supposed to instant death, you guys. What's the average for what it was supposed to roll? It was only supposed to roll like 25 damage. Not
That's-
31. I mean, it's still enough to knock both of you unconscious, but that's not the point.
Yeah, that would have almost killed me.
Would have almost knocked you unconscious.
That's true. I'm allowed to speak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are in a dangerous situation, what would you like to do?
I think we need to retreat, guys.
Mhm.
I think they need to be
This isn't
awake
good.
for that to happen.
We can drag them out.
I'm not very strong.
Okay, hold
I
on. Let's see. We have.
I know that Cedar can heal, and she's awake. And I know that Garan can heal, but he is not. So I'm gonna heal Garan with healing word
All right, are you gonna use a first or second level healing word?
first.
All right, go ahead and heal him and mark up the spell slot.
Oh, jeez. Everyone is dying.
Knocked 3 people unconscious. It didn't. Okay, it did. Garon, you wake up after the burst of acid as you feel a bit of this burning on your skin. As some of your aura is restored, as Thicket calls out to you. You don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark?
You don't feel so good. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Thicket?
We need to retreat. Okay. I don't think I can do anything else.
You can move.
Is acid flammable?
No.
Um,
Depends on the acid, but no.
Aw,
Since-
so I
healing
can't-
word was a bonus action. Can I use my action to help Garan get up?
Yeah, I'd say you can use your action to, you would take 5 feet of movement, effectively grapple, and then use 5 feet of your movement to pull him up. So you technically have 20 feet of movement left, and you could be grappling if you want to, pull him around if you'd like.
Yeah,
Garan,
I want to
you
like
are-
drag him towards the door.
All right, so you could get a total of, so you'd have 20 feet of movement left, so it'd be halved, so you could get about 10. But because of Gambit there, I would say you would basically be able to stop here. It's as close as you could get, y'all.
Cool.
And then Gambit. What would you like? Actually, no, just make a death save.
Again.
For the second time.
I would be scared, but I mean, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I should be scared, but I've been here before. Deja vu. Now
True.
you know what it's like.
If it helps, if you'd been at full health, you wouldn't have gone down. If your health
Yeah.
hadn't been reduced by the other fight.
Right.
You succeed again. Maverick, what would you like to do?
Let's see. There's not much I can do about helping people get out because the entire door is blocked. I think I might try to move kind of further in, like so. That way, if it
Oh, no.
does come out, I can pull its attention away from the rest of the group.
Where are you moving exactly?
Like to the 20.
Okay, so you're going to the 20, and then are you trying to move 10 up to the...
Yeah, right there.
Well, I was about to say, if you walk directly, you're gonna cross acid.
No. I was not planning on doing
Yeah,
so.
acid's not healthy for you, not gonna lie. All right.
I'm going to ready an action. Let's see. I think I'm going to ready magic missile.
All right.
Because this not within 15 feet, is it, if I do a cube?
The last place you saw it was there.
Yeah, so... yeah, no. I'm gonna ready magic missile for
Alright.
when it pops back up. And just to clarify, I am keeping an eye on basically all the acid pools because I don't know if they go down under the ground.
All right. Garand. as this very scary looking Grim came up and attacked.
Hell.
Accurate.
So Doug is down and Gambit is down?
Yes.
Alright, then I'm going to can I ready a non-cantrip spell and still cast? Because it's not going to happen on my turn when it happens. If I do Healing Word and then I ready the Guiding Bolt.
I love it.
Alright, so yeah, then I'm going to Healing Word Doug.
Go ahead and roll it on. And mark off the spell slot. And I assume you're just holding the other one until the next turn. Taking a little bit longer and using a reaction to focus.
Yeah,
the magic.
I'm gonna move and then I'm gonna have that ready for when it pops up again to try to zap him.
Oh, so what are you trying to cast then?
Guiding Bolt.
So where would you like to move to? All right, you undo Thicket's progress, pulling you, stepping over to the side.
No,
He's like, no, we need to leave.
we can't let it follow us. It'll just hurt us further.
We could lock it in here.
Yeah, that's what worked last time until someone opened the door.
Exactly.
Focus on getting out. We'll figure out what to do after.
With that disagreement, Cedar, Abby,
I'm here.
proud of you. What would you like to do? Gambit is still
Me?
down.
Hi.
You cannot see this Grim. Which, since you're the one with the... do you have proficiency in religion?
I don't know.
You do not. You do not have proficiency on the religion skill. Do any of you have proficiency in the religion skill by chance?
I have -1.
If I
As
see
a cleric,
yes,
I really
We
wish.
do not.
Okay.
can I say yes anyway?
No. I mean, you can. You'd be lying, but...
I've got
Sure, you
proficiency
do.
in Arcana.
I'm gonna let, because...
Can we roll a deception check against the DM? Pretend we have proficiency in
I
religion.
can literally see your sheet. Garand can use his
We have
bardic
disadvantage
jack of
then.
all trades. Roll a religion check to see if you know what kind of Grim this is. Because evidently it's a Grim. That's easy. 17. That's actually really good. Good job.
Turns out you know some things.
You know some things. You know that this is known as a sentinel. It is a centaur. It is, in fact, the same type of Grim as the sentinel, the smaller, just to show you an example, the centipede-like Grim that you'd fought before. It is, in fact, the same type as that. And this is what those turn into if they're let live for a while. And yes.
It's older brother.
Yeah, basically. And as you've seen, it does, in fact, spit acid and attack with big scythe claws. So, yeah. They're not terribly hardy, but they do hurt a lot very fast.
So they're glass cannons.
Maybe not glass, but like clay cannons.
Clay cannons. Okay.
Cedar, what would you like to do? As you would not necessarily know this, but Garand would. He would realize it as he's running around and preparing this guiding bolt.
Can I use my spiritual weapon?
Where would you like to place it?
Vaguely in that grayish area where the thing is.
So if you hold your left and right mouse and drag it, you can create an arrow. Point to me where you'd like to place it, please.
In
would you like to ready an action to attack with it should the thing arise?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you're doing? Any movement you're taking or anything?
No.
All right. You leave Gambit unconscious next to you. Bob is Bob, and I hate him. Go away, Bob. I hope you get eaten by an acid monster. Actually, I'd prefer to eat
Don't
you.
tolerate Bob slander.
I created Bob. I can say whatever I want.
Sorry.
Doug, you are prone. You are in pain. Your aura is flickering, having mostly been burned away by acid and then partially revived. You've received some acid burn. This room smells of rotten eggs. That's the smell I associate with acid.
Doug just kind of goes into overdrive and adrenaline, so he's going to take his second wind.
The first time you've ever used one? Good. Well, you might have used one the first session when you dueled a Dragonborn that was CR higher than you.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not letting me.
You press the magnifying glass and double-click to drag it onto yourself. And I'll go ahead and drag it on. Oh, you got it. Nice, and go ahead and mark it off. It should disappear from your combat actions when you do. Nice. All right.
Okay.
You do so.
He
I
is
assume you stand up, right?
correct.
Okay.
So second wind is a bonus action, correct?
It is. I'm gonna move the token onto a proper space. So you still have an action if you'd like to use it, but you don't have a bonus action. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Well, I can't move or anything, correct?
You have 15 feet of movement. And you have an action.
Okay, so my action will be to... Well, never mind. I think I'm just going to keep my sword. Because you said all physical weapons are resistant, right?
Yep.
Or it's resistant, it's all weapons.
All non-magical physical weapons. So like once you potentially reforge the Shattered Memory, you could maybe have it magic. Depends on if the end result is magic or not. But like a magical weapon would deal proper damage.
And the echoes, I guess, image of my weapon would still be considered physical.
Yep.
I guess I'm just going to hold my action.
To attack if it gets close to you, I assume?
That or like parry for a potential miss.
All right. It, lucky for y'all, does not recharge its acid spit. As it is going to move forward and it's going to show up here as it comes out of the acid. We're going to go down in the order that you took them. So first off, Maverick, make your attack. Make your damages.
Okay. It's not a save. I just do the damage.
Yep, magic missile. You just get to do it as you'll see once again. He pulls up his gauntlet. The 3 small pearls on the back of it glow, and release the energy towards it.
I'm trying to remember. There we go. Damage. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 damage? 3 missiles?
It's just 3. 3 missiles as these Bullets fly out and strike into it, cutting into its chest. It roars in response. And then Garand, make your attack, which it appears you're using a hero point for. Unfortunately, it misses as you're surprised by the movement as this large, somewhat intense creature, as it does reach up to the roof, the 10 feet high, and still has some of it in the acid. As you blast toward it, you are distracted, trying to make sure you don't step on any of the acid or anything, and the shot goes wide, going past it and actually striking into the wall over here, breaking off some of the sandstone that falls into the acid and burns up behind it. And then, Cedar, make your spiritual weapon attack.
Okay.
Against the Centaur. No, I don't want to hide you. I want to identify you. Know what you are.
Give me a second here.
How do I
I also think that's the
delete
worst
this?
monster stream I've ever done, and I regret it. I should have
It
done
was
better.
good.
I disagree.
It was good.
I loved it.
I liked it.
I liked it so much I couldn't even roll good.
It terrified you in and out of game. Unfortunately, as the spiritual weapon springs down, this thing moves faster than you expect. And it lurches forward to here and is going to make 3 attacks against Maverick.
Oh.
The first one fortunately misses as it brings down this large scythe-like blade down that strikes past you. You definitely step out of the way as it slashes into the ground, cutting almost a foot deep into the sandstone. The second one swings by in a wide cut, and you manage to barely duck out of the way as it slashes past, and the third one comes up in an upward claw. Fortunately for you, it doesn't hit well, it just hits hard. As the third one comes by, you barely bring up your shield the last second as it glances off, cutting through, scraping along the shield. Good job. You didn't die. It hits like a truck. Thicket.
But now he's within my own melee range. That's where I excel.
Mm-hmm. Definitely where you excel.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Gambit.
Fair.
Ah, thank you.
Wake up the unconscious boy.
Get up!
Mm-hmm.
Things are happening and it's scary. And where's the thing I need to roll?
Sorry, bro. Things are happening over dinner. Enjoy the extra 9 hit points, bringing you back up to max, because you're still reduced. The fact that your health is currently where Healing Word will heal you all the way up.
Catherine
Okay.
knows that I need, like, a restoration spell.
That depends on the type of reduction, but you need
That's
something
true.
for sure. Alright, so that is your bonus action. Is there anything else that it would like to do? As it doesn't appear that your friends are listening to the run away message you're getting.
I'm not allowed to cast another spell, can I?
Not another leveled one. I'm also not sure why you have Healing Word twice. I'm gonna delete one. If that's
I know, I just saw that. I think it just glitched itself.
That's okay. Only the one that heals more with your Wisdom modifier gets to stay. You do have
They were
Dust,
different?
which does not count as... but I don't know if the Air Dust will help you with this particular thing, because of the way it functions. It is...
I
believe-
also have the Dust of Dryness.
It's true. I don't know if
But-
that'll help, but you could definitely try.
Okay.
You need a base.
You need a ranged weapon is what you need.
I do.
Yeah, the Air Dust is a range set upon you. So unless you move close to it, you cannot strike it with Air Dust.
Okay. I think that is all I can do.
You can move, you have an action. Anything you'd like to do?
Hmm.
You have 30 feet of movement. If you'd like, you can use it to get away. You could get closer. Like, depending on which thing you'd like to do, you do have the movement to try and do one of those two things. Run off to the side, run off to the open spot in the wall that exists for some reason. Well, some reason being that it was burned away with acid, but you know.
I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alright. Gambit, you awake, prone, and burned by acid.
Uh,
This is a bad day. You're
yes,
really
I'm
not winning any
questioning.
awards this day.
Nope. Well, yes, I do. I get the rewards for being the most unconscious.
Yeah, that
Um,
gives you a whole extra 0 experience points.
yes. I bum bum bum. Okay, so all this stuff that is around me.
Mm-hmm. Technically, it would all be moved down over here because y'all moved it out of the way, but yeah.
Okay, never mind.
You could still hide behind a wall or something if that's what you're getting at.
I'm not trying. Oh, well, I guess that would be a good idea.
In case you want to go the run route. You could also duck behind these sarcophagi, because they are like 4 feet tall, even if they're partially burned by the acid.
Okay. Hmm. The question is do I be stupid? I don't
can-
know.
It's someone's audio.
You've got George Washington information coming through audio, just by the way.
I was just waiting for my turn.
You're good. I was just confused on why I was like, George Washington hated British people even more than he hated slavery. And I was like, what?
Okay.
Just
I mean,
was
you're not-
scrolling through YouTube shorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Gambit.
Sorry about that.
Okay. It was funny.
Let's see. So does it look like Maverick and Grand are engaging or running?
You just saw it attack Maverick 3 times, and everybody shot at it when it came out of the acid.
Thicket is
I'm
looking
telling you-
incredulously at Maverick and Garand,
Thicket is upset.
they're looking at them like they're crazy.
I'm trying to make sure you guys can get out without getting targeted by this thing. Since everyone was dead a second ago, I was the only one not hit. And I've been telling everyone, please run.
It's true, Maverick has
All
been...
right.
Well, actually, you have been cautious for Maverick to say, please run.
Okay, I'm just gonna back up
Okay, move yourself. As...
so that other people.
And I believe if you let go of yourself and then grab yourself again and move while you're moving, it will allow you to move, like, 2 directions. So you don't get
It's
stuck
right
on
click.
walls. Like if
Oh,
you
I
go
see.
down. Oh, is it right click? So if
Yeah.
you boom, then you right click.
Or should be right click.
I thought it was just like let go, but
Oh no, it is let go. Okay.
okay.
Cancel. move.
Okay, so if we move the stuff down here, Gambit is gonna get the stuff ready to barricade it, like, back again.
Okay,
Like,
that would
once
put
everyone's
you
out.
over here, but yes.
Okay.
It's grabbing the shelf. All right,
Yeah.
Maverick.
With his 2 strength. -1
Okay.
strength.
There's still people in here, so I'm going to melee attack.
Okay, what-
Thunder gauntlets probably 1d8 thunder damage.
I
so
mentioned
yeah,
green
I'm gonna
flame
do that.
blade, but there's no creature within 5 feet of it, so it wouldn't really affect anything.
Yeah, I've already taken a look at that. Okay, thunder gauntlets rolling to attack. I think that's what that is. Okay, I
Unfortunately, that
missed.
misses. As y'all see the fairly what you've kind of learned at this point, as his gauntlet vibrates, he swings up, but it shifts backwards, reaching up as you're... How tall are you? Like 3 feet tall?
I think so.
Yeah, as it's
It's not
quickly,
on my
like,
thing.
leaning back, Yeah, you're 2 feet 8 inches. As it leans up to 4 times your height, up against this toward the ceiling as you swing past it.
And I don't get a second attack, so
You don't. If this thing was a Pokemon, it would either have in the intimidation or pressure ability. Garand.
All right. Well, I missed. He missed. The floaty weapon missed. Okay, well, I want to use one of the air gems.
Oh, finally getting dust. All right. Let me see what they do. Oh no! Wait.
No, the air elemental.
Oh. All right. That changes things a little bit. So you pull out the elemental stone, as you seem to be fairly concerned, which makes sense. I will go ahead and...
Maybe if all of us didn't just miss, maybe I wouldn't. But...
That's fair. I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to. You do know those were 10s and 11s that you rolled. But you can. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But you can't. So you're going to expend one of the blue sapphires to effectively cast Conjure Elemental.
Yep, and I will summon it right next to him, and he will begin to try to throw him. No, he if he throws him right now, he could hurt other people, so he'll just slam twice.
See, that's not spells. I'm also just going to go ahead and throw an effect on you that's just going to be called Air Elemental Concentration. That way it'll make you make a roll if you get hit. That could change things even more if you get knocked out while it's up. Air Elemental. Let's throw you onto the combat tracker, make you a neutral party. Or I guess you would technically be on y'all's side. Not Bob. Go away, Bob.
Love you, Bob.
Alright, and I need to roll initiative for it. Okay, we'll get to act on its next turn. As you... Where are you placing it? I believe there's a range to it.
If it's like the spell, when I summon it, it gets to act immediately, correct? And then...
I don't know. I don't use the spell very much. Conjure Elemental. What do you do? So 90-foot range. Yada. No, you issue commands to it, and it acts on its turn.
Okay. All right. Well,
Where do you want it?
it's gonna be right next to him.
Right there. Up there. As you all see Garand pull out this blue sapphire, this spherical gemstone, holding up the bracelet it's a part of, the one of the two blue sapphires hanging from it. It glows as he activates it. The sapphire shatters. The energy glitters around where it was before the energy very quickly travels over to this spot, and dust begins to whip up as this whirlwind that you can only see based on the dust and little bits of acid that are traveling in it forms with this almost face in it as this not quite humanoid form rises up. This living tornado. I believe that's your turn, unless you want to move.
I'm going to give a bardic inspiration for a bonus action to Maverick, and I'm going to move towards that hallway to hopefully spread its attention so it doesn't really know what to do, so maybe we can kind of swarm it.
All right. Go ahead and move yourself the path you would like to take. Okay, stop in there. All right, you can move around.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah.
Cedar, what would you like to do?
Can I move my thingy closer to it?
You can. Move it right up to it.
Is it flanked?
Unfortunately, I do not use those kind of flanking rules.
And
Can I hit it?
You can attack it, yes. That hits, roll damage. As this magical, flying green divine mace strikes into it.
Oh. I don't know if that worked.
It hit. Didn't see any damage roll, though. Alright, it takes 9 damage as the mace strikes into it.
Yay.
And then it is Doug's turn.
Okay. This would be a question for the DM.
Okay.
Since Thicket doesn't have any ranged weapons, and it seems like we're just gonna ambush this and like stay spread out so we all don't get taken out in one blow, can I use my 50-foot rope and my survival skills to attach a weapon to one side of the rope and give it to Thicket so Thicket can use it for a ranged attack?
Like a hand axe?
Sure.
Okay, I would say it would take an action for you to make. Since you're
Right.
quickly tying it together, and then effectively Thicket can throw it, and then as a bonus action, pull it back.
Right.
Okay.
As he's like trying to do that, could I just like inform him I've prepared long range spells today?
You could say like, I've got it. I mean,
I'm good. I don't need it. You can try and hit it.
Okay. In that case, since Doug doesn't have anything but physical stuff, and his longbow doesn't do as much, Doug's going to go up a few feet. He's going to manifest an echo wherever the echo is.
Where do you want it?
Just in the middle, right below the Centaur.
Okay. Conjure it.
Correct. So that's my bonus. And then if I do, well, I can't unleash the incarnation, right? When I do the regular action to attack.
You can.
So I can do both at the same time.
Anytime you use a regular attack, you can unleash your incarnation. So technically, you could Nova and do attack, incarnation, and then whenever you have your action surge, you could do like attack, incarnation, action surge, attack, incarnation. As long as you use your action to take the attack action, you can unleash incarnation.
Okay. And then the acid damage would take effect after the two simultaneous, or?
No, they would take place one at a time, effectively.
Well, then I will wait to do the unleash until after the regular attack.
That's fair. Go ahead and make the first attack with him. That hits. It's not high enough to get the slicing, though. I partially resist the effect as you first slice through it, actually cutting off a couple of its arms down its side.
And then I'll unleash.
That hits. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have done the acid damage for the first one. My bad. I forgot about it. So go ahead and take your Unleashed Incarnation back, because it will produce the acid damage to strike into you, and since the any damage kills the thing, it will destroy the echo.
Right, and then I will, for the rest of my movement, move over here.
All right.
Actually, that's not where I wanted to move.
All right, it is the Centaur's turn. Are you going to get your acid back, I wonder? It does not. It is immediately going to turn and strike at the large air elemental as it feels the energy next to it. Hit. As it slashes into it with this large scythe cutting through it. It does partially resist, because I think the elemental... What are you resisting? Which part of it are you resisting?
Slashing damage?
It is, because the attacks are non-magical. The thing also is reducing the damage. The second attack is going to come through. Going to also hit. Deal a bit more damage that time. And it's going to make an intelligence check, a wisdom check, to see if it realizes that it's not doing as much damage as it wants to. It fails. It's going to make its last claw attack against the air elemental instead of going against Maverick. And it's going to roll a 1 as it cuts through with these first two, slicing through the air, and you actually see some of the bits of acid, like the air, takes on this dark energy, similar to when Cedar inflicts wounds as it cuts through and scatters the air and actually does some damage. Not a ton. The air elemental is fairly bulky, but it does slash through a couple of times, damaging it. Thicket.
Okay. How do I cast a spell at 2nd level on Fantasy Grounds?
Well, so depends on what exactly the effect is. So, for example, if you were to cast, say, Healing Word, the extra is a additional just 1d4. So when you drag the healing, you can right-click, and it will add an additional die.
Well, I want to cast Vibrant Sap at level 2.
Vibrant Sap. When you cast spell using a slot, damage increased by 1d8. So yeah, so whenever you drag it, just right-click once, and it should add the third d8. And you do need to make the con save first.
I'm confused. What do you mean drag it and then I just click the button?
You not drag it?
No, I just click the damage
Well, in that
button.
case, I will just temporarily increase its dice. I do need to. It looks like for some reason you don't have the attack, but you do have to attack first. So let's see. There we go. I've added the ranged attack, so you can attack with the ranged attack first, because the attack does the damage, and then the con does the potential secondary effect.
I am going to use a hero point to hit.
All right. You're up to a total of +9. super hits. Go ahead and roll the damage. Unfortunately, as you do strike into it, the damage does connect with the bolt, striking into it. As the dark energy pulses along it, it's similar to the dark energy it released in its blades, and you see that the energy doesn't affect it as much as you wanted, and it does resist the necrotic damage.
Now it's gotta take a save.
Now it's going to make a con save, which it unfortunately succeeds upon, so it will get to take its action and bonus action next turn if it uses them. Sorry, fam. But it did it. You hit something from farther than 5 feet away.
I did.
Alright, go ahead and mark the second level spell off, and are you going to do anything else? Movement or anything?
I am going to get like over here-ish, out of the doorway so that I'm not like in the way.
Alright, very carefully
I
avoiding
don't-
the acid next to you.
Yeah.
Alright, the air elemental's turn. What would you like it to do, Garand? It can make 2 slam attacks, or the whirlwind, which affects creatures in its space. So it basically move into the centaur space and then use it.
No, I want it to slam because I don't want it to accidentally hit Maverick. So.
That's fair. So it'll... Are you able to use its things? Are you able to look at those? Is there a way that I can give you control, maybe? Doesn't look like there is, at least not that I'm aware of. I might look into that later, but I'll go ahead and roll these. So the first attack is a natural one as it as the elemental, getting used to its living form, shifts and tries to strike into the creature, but lands against the carapace with no effect. The second one, as it brings the strike around, is a natural 20. And to deal. It does resist the damage, though it does roll a total of 26. It resists it down to 13 as it brings the second strike up, punching into the stomach of this centaur. And actually, I need to do... And since it's bludgeoning and not slashing or piercing, it does not cause the acid blood. So it strikes into it, dealing a pretty considerable amount of damage, especially given that it was non-magical. It strikes into the creature. It's looking fairly hurt, fairly harried. Is the air elemental going to move anywhere?
No, Windy, stay right there.
Windy the air elemental. I also want to go ahead and add a duration, because it lasts for a minute. There you go. I don't want to close the combat tracker.
And when it
Gambit.
leaves, it clicks its heels three times.
It's true.
It's red.
It clicks its air heals 3 times.
It's
Gambit, what are you doing?
Air Jordans. Oh, gee. I'm going. Man. I'm going to start dragging the stuff, I guess. But okay. So wait. I guess I'm gonna go back and peek in and be like, hey, what's going on here? Are we not running?
Nope.
Okay.
I was trying to, but everyone decided to attack.
If you can like somehow yell for help through the halls, maybe help will come eventually.
Okay.
We do have all of those people in that wing that could help.
And that's 6 seconds. Gambit, what would you like to do with your action?
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to go here and then run towards.
It would have been 30 feet to get to there, so you could dash.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna dash, use my action to dash, and so I'm just gonna go run to get help.
Yay. Maverick.
Yes.
You stare up toward this creature. It's a very tall creature.
Punch.
How do you feel?
I punch.
You feel
That's
punch?
how I feel.
You punch.
I feel punch.
Make a punch.
I am gonna use my last hero point.
True, and you can Bardic Inspiration if you'd like.
And I would like to Bardic Inspiration.
All right, go ahead and roll a d6 and a d4, and then type the combined number into the modifier window.
Great.
Hey, 1 is 1. And 4,
Okay,
so
so
type a 5 or hit the +5 to the modifier.
And I want to punch.
Punch.
Am I targeting him?
You are.
Okay. And I punch. Does a 24 hit?
It does.
Roll damage. Okay.
As it strikes toward the air elemental, you see Maverick. He thinks for a second, look down at his gauntlet before grabbing onto, or if you want to describe how you do this, but I do have an idea already. Sorry, how do you want to do this?
Okay, so as the Scimitar uses Scythe to attack the air elemental, I use one of my hands, like one of my gauntlets. I grab the scythe and charge up the thunder gauntlet with my other hand, and then I punch it right in the face.
So as it swings by, it pulls its scythe back toward you. You grab onto it and ride it as it pulls the scythe through the air. You ride up toward, as you swing around toward the air elemental. You release as it comes to its zenith, as you spin in the air, turn down, and strike into the head of this creature. The thunderous energy bursts through it and shatters its head and skull into pieces that fall to the floor. As you fall and land on the ground, its whole body flops, still not even fully out of the acid from its length, as it lays down, falling to the ground. Before the acid, you see its stomach seems to like retract back as if the acid is like turning, like reducing and disappearing. And then the body itself begins to ash away, as you've seen Grim do at least a few times, as its body disintegrates as it dies. The acid in the room is still there, but the creature falls. As you take a deep breath, having spun and struck into this creature, I believe that is where we are going to end for the session for the night. It is 10:30.
It is 10:30.
You have approximately 9 rounds of air elemental left. Good job, y'all.
We didn't need to run. See?
I only used half my spells.
Hey, but if we cleared out the whole place, though, then then it's a complete dungeon, success. There's no way that we're not level 27 by now.
Sure. That's got to be the most accurate CR3 creature I've ever made. Gotta admit. Most of the time, they're like way too weak or way too strong. I feel like that was just right. Just enough to scare you and it be deadly. If things had gone the wrong way or if it kept recharging. Well, y'all got it. Didn't have a ton of hit
Luckily.
points.
Yeah, I almost died there.
I need to hit you with more saves. You just keep going away from people, though.
I have 19 AC.
You have 19 AC and you didn't bunch up. If you'd been with the others, I mean, you would have taken a bunch of damage. But, like, it trying to attack you with the size, like, not gonna hit you, my guy.
Yeah. And that's with me not having plate armor, which I'm trying to get. I want to never die.
I can tell you've gotten tired of D&D characters that die. I see.
Yeah.
Decided you're
I don't
done.
even... Where is my armor in my character sheet?
Your armor should be on the main page. There is the
Main
AC, and you
page.
click the magnifying glass to the left of it, which shows your armor, shield, dex bonus, and miscellaneous, which your miscellaneous is your shield extra bonus.
Cool.
Just so we can change that rather than changing your shield's direct bonus.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice job, y'all. I'm glad I scared you.
Aw, Abby.
Oh, poor Abby. Abby, go to bed.
Might be
Abby!
too late for that.
Abby! Well, I guess I'll kick Abby, and then one of us can call her and tell her session's over. She can go to bed. Y'all killed it. Y'all had a
Nobody
flying
died.
kobold. I wish I could get that art done. Like I one day I'll have enough money, not disposable, but that I can utilize to make art for streamer stuff. Because I'd like to get all your characters done someday. That'd be neat, and like cool moments like that, like Maverick flying in the air and punching a thing to death with a gauntlet of energy. That sounds cool. That'd make a good wallpaper.
Just go on to Fiverr, see if you can find something there.
Potentially. I'll go ahead and let stream go. Or rather, at least YouTube. Stream can stay open if we'd like, in case anyone's here and wants to hang out. But goodbye, YouTube.
That was wild.
That was wild.
The number of ones that we rolled.
Bye, YouTube.
I mean, that's an extreme